Hi there, this is Mr. Smith, and in this video, oops, let me switch pages here. I'm gonna do a little video tour of eCampus and MyMathLab. So let's go ahead and get started. When you sign into eCampus and then our course, you're gonna see the description right here, and notice we come in on the announcements page. So you're gonna want to read through the announcements, and it'll just tell you about what's in eCampus here and what you need to do to get started. And you'll also find three links, this one, and this one here. I haven't set them up yet, but I'm in the process of doing that. And those should help you get off to a quick start in the course because, again, this is a 4-week course and there's a lot to do. So once you've read through that, I would have you click on the syllabus. And if you click right here, this is the syllabus. And I would encourage you to watch the video. Print this out and you can make comments and make a note of any questions, and please don't hesitate to contact me if there's anything that's not clear or that you have questions about. So that's the syllabus. Now the syllabus does include a schedule, but for the first several assignments, I think there's 12, the due date is all on the 6th of June. So that does not all that helpful if you're trying to kind of schedule things out. So if you click on this link here, I've actually given a recommendation for pacing. So you can see that you're going to want to do about 3 assignments a day for the first week, or really the first 4 days. And so it starts off kind of quick that way, and after that you have about 2 a day. So you can see it's going to be really important that you get off to a quick start. If you can get off to an early start, that'll make it even easier. But this will help you with pacing. All right, so let's move out and on to taking an online course. So if you've never taken an online course, you may want to go here and check out this link, Getting Started with Online Courses. This is by Dallas College. It's very well done, and I think you'll find it practical and useful and short, not too long. So I would recommend you look at that if you have any concerns about taking an online course, or if you just want to make sure you're doing a good job when you take an online course. And then if you click on here, there's 4 other links to other materials, so more stuff there that you may find worthwhile, but I would just warn you to watch your time. Remember, there's 3 assignments that you want to get done by the first day of class, and you can't spend too much time getting, through all the orientation stuff. All right, so let's move on to, let's see, the MyMathLab link we'll come back to. This is the My Grades link. This is where you'll find eCampus grades, which I'll put in here after each test. You click here if you want to email me. It's the easiest way to email me. If you click on Introductions and Questions, I've got introductions here. Later I'll put in some links for questions for each test. So under test 1, whenever I do a video for someone answering their question, I'll post that here. And so you'll have access to those videos in addition to the other things that are in MyMathLab. If you click on Introductions and My Introduction example, notice I've given a brief introduction to myself here in words, and then I've included a photo and a video. So what you want to share is up to you. You don't have to make a video, you don't have to share pictures. It's really just what you're comfortable with. But I hope you'll take the opportunity to introduce yourself to us briefly so we can get to know you a bit better, and just makes the course a lot more enjoyable if we take advantage of the opportunities to get to know each other a little bit better through the process. All right, so let's see. We've got a Teams link, so I will make teams of 5, and how you use those is going to be up to you. Some students really like to work in groups, others prefer to work on their own. So I can work with you to build a team, or we'll just kind of see how that works out. It's a little bit harder in a 4-week course, but that's certainly something that you can pursue if that's something you're interested in. Resources. These are some of the student resources that you can link to in here. Counseling, academic advising, financial aid. So that's that. We've got the help link. If you need help in eCampus, this is a phone number for eCampus. You can also reach them online. And let's see, the next link is learning materials. And if you click, I think, on this link, it actually tells you all the different materials that you have for your courses in the current semester. Now, hopefully you're only taking this course, but whatever courses you're taking, that's where you would find your learning materials. All right, so let's see, tutoring with Mr. Smith, that's where you'll go for office hours, or if we set up a tutoring session either for you individually or maybe with a group, and I'll create a session and you'll just click on that session, and we have access to a whiteboard, and there's a lot of things I can do. I can pull up my screen and I can go look at your homework, and so anyway, there's a lot of ways I can help you through this resource. It's very nice. And then we've got this Math Tutoring Center link. This tells you how to get set up at Brookhaven to use their online services, but you're welcome to use the services at any of the campuses. And I don't know, I believe that you may even be able to go on campus and get help, which would be really nice this summer. But I just want to warn you that on some of the campuses, they may be using different trig materials. It may not be the same book. All right, so I think we're now ready to go to MyMathLab. First thing you're going to want to do is run the browser check. And when you do that, it's going to basically determine if you're ready to run MyMathLab. There may be some things that you need to download if not. So I'm all set to go. We're going to go to the assignments link in a minute here, but I want to go through these others first. The assignment link is where you're normally going to be going when you come in to do your homework and other assignments. So we've got the MyMathLab gradebook. Now, as I said on the introductory announcements, this may not be as accurate as what you see in eCampus, because throughout the semester I have to make some adjustments to the settings. For the most part, it's going to be pretty close, but it's not going to be exact. This is where you can get to the textbook, and it takes just a second to load here, a couple seconds, maybe a minute. There we go. So we click on the menu here. We can go, let's go to Chapter 1, Section 1.1, and there's your book. And so you can access the textbook just like if you had a paper textbook. You know, you have access to all the things in the book. I'll spend a little bit more time in that in just a little bit. Let's go to the next one here, Multimedia Library. For each section, so let's go to Chapter 1, Section 1.1, there's learning materials that come with the book. And so if you click on Select All, it'll show you everything that's available. This multimedia library link is useful, especially if later in the course you want to go back to an earlier section. Although I think the way I've set up the course, you can actually do that on the assignment page or through the assignment link. But this is another way to get to those materials. You can see that there's the textbook link for that section. There's a videos link. This is basically the lecture for this section. And then there's a PowerPoint. And you should find that for each section. These videos actually make up this video here. Sometimes there may be additional videos, but most of these are just going to be part of the video that you see here. All right, so let's go back to, let's see, we're almost done here. We got integration support. Hopefully you won't have any issues with MyMathLab during the semester, but if you do, they may ask you to go to this integration support area to give them some numbers that they'll need. The other thing is if you have any kind of special needs, we do have a list of some accessible resources that are available to you. And so that's everything that's in here under this MyMathLab link. But again, you're going to spend most of your time in assignments. All right, so here you can see we start with a skills check. And these are optional, but keep in mind it really kind of depends on where you're coming from. Like in this case, if you haven't done anything with fractions in a while, you haven't worked with radicals, simplifying radicals, or rationalizing the denominator, these are some basic skills that you want to make sure you have before you jump into the homework. There's 8 problems here, so you can do whatever those 8 problems you want just to make sure you understand those skills. And then I've made a video going over all 8, and you can just watch the video for the problems you're interested in. And there may be nothing in some of the videos that you really need, and others may be helpful to you. All right, so and not all of this chapters are going to have skills checks that I put in here. There was a chapter 2 skills check that I chose not to use, but I'm just trying to be really selective to what you're being exposed to because we've got plenty to do. All right, so now let's say you're ready to go to notes and videos. The first thing you're going to see is a link to the textbook, and so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So there are several ways that you can study. Basically, it's instead of going to the classroom and getting a lecture, these are the things that you can use to learn the material. So number one, you can, whoops, let me go ahead and make this a little bigger. You can use the book, and it's very nice. Notice there's a video associated with what's here, some kind of introduction. In this first section, you can see there's some basic terms you need to understand. So you'll want to make some notes on that. You need to know some things about degree measure. It talks about complements and supplements. Notice there's a video that tells you how to do this problem if you look through this and you don't understand. I think this one's not too bad, but there may be other problems that are not quite so easy. And then there's these You Try It links where you can click on those and practice or do a problem to make sure you understand. And so you can see it's very interactive, it's very nice. And for some of you, that may be the way that you want to learn the material before you go on to the homework assignment. Now there's another really good option, and that is, let's see, the PowerPoint. I really like these PowerPoints, at least so far the ones I've seen have been very good. So let me show you. It takes just a second to upload. All right, so you can see that, here's your basic terms like what we were seeing in the book. And then, some more terms. Talks about degree measure. And then it starts doing examples. In fact, I'm not positive, but I think these may be the same as the ones in the book. Let's see. But anyway, so you can see that, and the nice thing about the PowerPoints is you can click on them step by step. It'll show you a step at a time, so you're not seeing the whole thing. And so these are really nice, and this is another way that you can learn the material using the PowerPoints. All right, so let's click out of there. And then finally, there's this video here. There's a video for each section, which basically acts as a lecture. I just want to warn you, though, in these videos, they're really just like 4 or 5 problems that have been put together to make this one video. They're not always the best at going through the terms or trying to help you see the big picture. And so that's where I think the PowerPoint or going through the book is going to be a really good idea to help you learn the material. I would start with the PowerPoint myself because I thought they were really good. And if you feel like you need more than that, you can look at some of the stuff that's in the book. If you want to watch the videos on certain problems or certain examples, those are available. And again, these are the different topics that are covered in the section. These are also the videos that you're going to see when you click on the help buttons in MyMathLab as you're doing the homework. All right, so these are all the things that you're going to use to help you learn the material. And at times, if I don't like what I'm seeing in here, I may post a video for you. All right, so let's say you've taken the time to learn the material. Now you're ready to do your homework. So let's click on section 1.1. You can see this assignment is due on June 6th, and tells you a little bit about what's going on here. Let's go ahead and go to, we'll say, question 4. Let's see, I want to do something, there we go. So find the complement and supplement of the given angle. So complementary angles add up to 90, and so what's that, 67 plus the 23, that would be 90 degrees, or you can just subtract 90 minus 23. Right down below here, you can't see, but it says check answer. Notice I got that one right. And then the supplement, so supplementary angles add up to 180. And so if we do 180 minus 23, it's 160, 157. And again, right below here, it says check answer. And so notice I get a green check mark. It'll be right there. And then it takes me to the next problem. Now, I'm going to go ahead and answer this one incorrectly 3 times. I'll just keep the same answer in there. And I'm just clicking on check answer. Now it says final check this time, so I'll click on that. Notice I get a red X. It tells me what my answer was and what the correct answer is. And I guess I got to do it with this one too. So let me do that real quick. So final check. So it marked me with a red X. In fact, if you click here, it shows you, we just were on number 6 and I got a red X. Let's go back to that one. You can also arrow right or left or right. And down here it says similar question. So if you click on similar question, notice it's giving me a new problem. And so now, let's see, I need these to add up to 90. So what's that, 31? And then I need to be 180, so 60, 121. Let's try that, 121. So notice now I got it right. It turned that from a red check or a red X to a green check. In fact, if I go here, you can see that I now have it marked correct. The whole point being that if you're willing to go back and correct errors in your work, you have the opportunity to get 100% on every homework assignment. All right, last thing I want to talk about is the question help buttons. If you click on this one here, it'll help you solve the current problem and then give you a new one. If you don't want to mess with this problem they gave you, you would want to click on view an example. You'll go through that and then you'll come back and do this one here. If you click on video, it'll show you a video that'll help you know how to do this kind of problem. Or you can click on the textbook. This is another way to get to the textbook. It'll take you to section 1.1. If you click on Ask My Instructor, you can, basically you're going to send this question to me and you can ask your question here. And so that's a great way to ask questions and get help. And if you're about to do the tutoring session with me or during office hours, you can send me these ahead of time and that'll help me to kind of prepare ahead or before so things go a little bit quicker in the tutoring session. And then the other thing that's here is the print button. You can print out the homework and work on problems. Just be careful with that because I've been told sometimes the numbers change and so that would make, you don't want to waste time. I'll just put it that way. All right, so I think that's everything you need to know. If there's anything that's not clear or you have questions about, let me know. And again, I hope you get off to a great start and good luck this session.